Alright, guys, before we get into this game, I would just want to say what a game it was. Not only did it live up to the hype, but, I mean, obviously, like, the first, I want to say almost 3/4 of the game, it was terrible. It was like it was a domination by the Atlanta Falcons, but it was it's one of the best Super Bowls I've ever seen. It was a great Super Bowl. It didn't end up the way I wanted it to, obviously, since I'm a diehard Dolphins fan, but you got to give respect where respect is due, because what they did was very, very hard. So let's start in the first. We'll just start in the first half. It was a complete utter domination. The Patriots were moving. They crossed into Falcons territory a lot of times, but they kept turning the ball over. Obviously, Brady throws the pick six to Robert Alford. I'm confused on say his name right now, but Deion Jones gets the fumble strip. I thought Deion Jones should have won Defensive Rookie of the Year for sure. He had a heck of a game in that first half. The Falcons offense, all you heard all week was they're going to take away Julio, and they really didn't take him away. He was even Julio, that's not even at 100%. He had a great game. They were really running the ball on the Patriots in the first half. They really could not stop the run at all. There was they ran a lot of tosses. They tried to, get the edge on the Patriots, and they were. Devontae Freeman he had a huge run on their first possession. And I thought Matt Ryan kind of looked a little shaky in the first half. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't even really think he ever looked like the Matt Ryan that we've seen so many times. He had a good game. I think he was 6 for 6 at one point in the first half. I don't think he missed a pass in the first half. I could be wrong about that. But there was a couple balls behind players. Like, there was a ball that was behind Julio Jones. It should have been in front of him. There was a couple shaky. He was taking sacks that he shouldn't have taken. And that's a theme going, into the video. And then you look at the other side of the Patriots offense. They really weren't doing what the Patriots usually do. They weren't running the ball with a whole lot of success. The quick pass game, I think on the first drive, they were moving the ball, but Tom wasn't having the greatest game. He was missing passes. He was missing wide open people. He missed Julian Edelman a couple times. There's one play where Julian Edelman, if he catches it, he may just walk into the end zone. He was looking a little off. And then the Falcons, what everybody was talking about, man, you gotta hit Tom Brady. You have to get pressure with your front four. And the Falcons did that. They got pressure with their front four. They were constantly in Brady's face. And it looked like in that first half that there's no way Patriots are going to win this game. No Super Bowl team. The biggest deficit a Super Bowl team's overcome is a 10-point deficit. Okay, so at that point, I think everybody was like, "This is crazy. Nobody expected this to happen." And then the questions, of course, the Patriots defense did not play very well at all in that first half. They were giving up points. They're more of, and a lot of people said, "Listen, I'm not taking anything away from the Patriots defense, but they're not like Broncos level. They're a bend don't break type of a defense." And the Falcons were breaking it. They were scoring touchdowns. They weren't settling for field goals. When they got in the red zone, they capitalized. There was a beautiful pass to Austin Hooper, beautiful play call to Tevin Coleman. That was in the flat route. Got him matched up on Rob Ninkovich. It was a great play. Bill Belichick really, one of the things he said, I think at half, was like, every time we try to go to defend the run, that leaves Julio open. Every time we go to take out Julio, the run's open. So that goes to show you how hard the Falcons are to stop on offense. They're extremely hard. And the defense for the Falcons, like I said, everybody was like, are they going to be consistent and play like the high level that they have been playing at in the playoffs? And they were. They looked really good. Dwight Freeney. Vic Beasley didn't have as good of a game as I thought he was going to have. Hagen, I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name right now, but he had like 2 sacks on one drive. The rookie, I think, or the second-year pro, I can't remember his name right now. But he had 2 sacks, 1 drive, which was so clutch. That was in the second half, but to stay in the first half, they were getting after Brady. Their man coverage was really, like I said this before previewing this video. The Falcons play a lot more man than people think they are. They're not like a Steelers team that just plays zone. They play man a lot more than people think they do. And that was really working. They did everything that works against the Patriots. Everything you have to do to beat the Patriots. You have to play man. You have to get pressure with your front four. If you can do that, then you have if you can do those 2 things, which are extremely hard to do, then you have a chance of winning the football game. And the Falcons were doing that in the first half. It looked like the game plan was being executed perfectly. They knew what they had to do to win it. Their confidence was through the roof. After the Robert Alford pick six, I was like, this is crazy. And that was I think that was in the red zone. Could have been on the 30, but that was still in their territory. And he just returns it, all the way for the touchdown. At that point, usually, this was looking like the Seahawks-Broncos Super Bowl. It was looking like a complete another domination by the Falcons. And like I said, everything that they wanted to do, they were doing. And it was working. Everything that we've seen in the past that the Patriots have, this is how you beat the Patriots. They were doing it, and they had success doing it. And obviously the strong muscle of the football team is their offense. And they were, and again, people talk about, oh, this defense bends, doesn't break. It was breaking in that first half. And then I think the Patriots finally get a field goal. I don't know if that was in the second half of the first, or towards the end of the first. And then the Falcons come out, and then they score another touchdown. And then at that point, it was like 28-3. And then, so you're thinking, and again, they struggled throughout the whole third quarter, the Falcons did. Or not the Falcons, the Patriots. They struggled throughout the whole third quarter. They didn't score, I think they scored a touchdown right near the end of the third. And then Kostowski missed the extra point, and then they go for this is so crazy to me. And then they go for the onside kick, which the Falcons pick up. And you think at that point, it's over. The defense, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I could be wrong, it's late. But the defense, for the Patriots, holds strong. They get after Matt Ryan, and then they punt the ball. So not only did they get the ball in Patriots territory, but the defense was starting to get momentum back. They scored a touchdown. The Patriots stopped the Falcons. And then we entered the fourth quarter. And it just completely changed. They were getting pressure on Brady because he had a couple sacks in the fourth. But it started, to be honest with you guys, once the big turnaround was like when the Patriots said, we can win this, was when they scored a touchdown. This is before Dante Hightower got the strip sack. When they got the touchdown, they got the 2-point conversion with I think it was like the fake snap to Brady, the direct snap to, I don't know, I think it was James White, and he runs it in the end zone for a 2-point conversion. I think at that point, the game totally flipped. I don't think the Falcons, especially since they're young defense, and you can imagine being them. Like, imagine being in their shoes, right? You're playing the greatest quarterback to ever live. You're playing the greatest system that the NFL has ever seen. And you were up 28-3 at one point. And you thought you were walking away with it. And then all of a sudden you look at the scoreboard and it's a one possession game. I think that's when it totally flipped. And then obviously I don't know, I think the Dante Hightower, actually, if I think I'm mistaken, I think the Dante Hightower fumble is what led to the touchdown that made it 20, or maybe it was after that when the I think that's what led to the 20-28 score. And once that happened, it was just, I think at that point I was really worried, because I didn't want, if you're Patriots fans, I didn't want you guys to win. I'm sorry, I just didn't want you guys to win. But I think the Falcons, and I'm not taking anything away from you guys. What you did was crap and amazing, and I have most respect for that team. I mean, I like you guys, but anyway, the point is that they totally flipped the momentum of that game. And you could even look at the offense. People don't, looking back on the game, something that's probably going to be talked about a lot is that offense for the Falcons was not on the field that much. The Patriots, as the game was going on, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, even them, I was sitting here, I told one of my brothers was watching with me, I said, they took 6 minutes to score. I think that was towards the end of the third. I said, the Falcons will have it all day. Take 6 minutes. That's almost the whole quarter. Take 6 minutes to score. And everybody was like, why are they running the ball? If you're a Patriots fan, why do you think you're running the ball? Well, I mean, they just turned it on, man. I think once they saw the fact that, because if you're a player for the Patriots, you look up at the scoreboard and you're like, we can actually win this. You know what I mean? We can actually win this. And they took full advantage of that. The Falcons folded. They never looked the same after the first half, and then towards the end of the third, they were not the same football team. The defense wasn't playing. The defense was playing like something bad's gonna happen to them. The offense was playing like, I don't know if they were nervous, but just mental mistakes were happening. Let's get into that. So The Falcons had, I think, 50 seconds to score off after Tom Brady with the magical crap and drive goes down, scores, screen for the 2-point conversion. At that point, then they tie the game, and then I'm thinking this could be the first Super Bowl ever to go into overtime. And then obviously Weems, their kick returner, who's been their kick returner, punt returner for a long time, he fields it. Now, I could be I'm pretty sure he could have kneed it or at least let it go out of the end zone. I'm actually 100% sure on that. He crap and fields it and comes out of the end zone, and then they start on their own 10. Now, like, how stupid could you possibly be? Not only do you risk, because the Patriots had two timeouts at the moment, not only do you risk Brady getting the crap and ball back, but they would get great field position. Anyway, Matt Ryan actually gets the first down. He moves it to, like, the 25-yard line, where they would have been anyway if he just took the fair catch. And then the drive completely stalls out. It looks like the Patriot safety, whose name escapes me right now, it looks like he picked it off. Matt throws in double coverage. It looks like he picked off. He's out of bounds. But it's like, let me rewind a little bit, because I have to talk about this. There is a point where, first of all, Julio catches this beautiful ball. It wasn't a beautiful ball. It was just a beautiful catch by Matt Ryan to Julio. And I knew Julio was going to have a great game. Julio is just a different kind of animal than most receivers are. Like, he's just a physical freak. He's like Calvin Johnson, and I've said this many times, but he's just like Calvin Johnson in that way. He's just not a normal human being. So Julio makes a fantastic catch, a catch that only Julio can make for sure. And then you think, okay, so if they score a field goal, they go up double digits, and then I was like, that shuts the door. That shuts the door, switches momentum. The Falcons can kind of breathe a little bit, knowing that they have that 10-point cushion with not a lot of time left to go. And I think if Brady scored a touchdown on the next drive, they would definitely had to have gone for an onside kick. So you can just it's totally different on the nerve, like in terms of you being nervous. And playing with confidence. Like, this is just another momentum thing. Matt Ryan, on one of the first plays, they're in their territory. They're deep in their territory. Let's just say they don't lose any yardage, right? Or if you lose like 5 yards, they still can kick a field goal. The first play is a toss, which they've been getting them all game with, which is not something you want to do against Bill Belichick, because Bill Belichick, believe it or not, by far the greatest adjust. Even when he was a defensive coordinator for the Giants, he's always been the greatest at adjusting on defense. And so the same thing with Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia's not on that level, but he's still really good. And they just, Devontae Freeman loses a couple yards, and then you're like, okay, can't do that. You got to take your loss. Devontae Freeman tried to fight and get some extra yards. You just got to lose 1 to 0 yards, don't gain anything. So you think, okay, just stay in field goal range, and basically you won the Super Bowl. And Matt Ryan takes one of the dumbest sacks I have ever, you have to get rid of the football. You cannot take that sack. If you take that you just cannot take it. He took a lot of sacks that he didn't need to take. You have to do everything you can. The number one thing that Matt Ryan and that Falcons offense should have been worried about is we have to secure a field goal. I don't care about a touchdown. I don't even care about the first down. As long as I would have ran it 3 times. As long as we can kick this field goal. And now, again, you don't know if the field goal is 100% or not. I understand that point of view. But it's the safest bet, because we know we have it. We don't know we have a touchdown. We don't know if we have the first down. But you have a field goal. Or at least a chance at one, right? And basically what I'm saying is you're in field goal range. Matt Ryan takes a terrible sack. Then there's a terrible holding call that I don't think was holding. And they backed him up 10 yards. I think that was on Jake Matthews. That takes him totally out of field goal range. And they just basically, I think after that really crap and it hit him, and at that point, it was over. And the greatest comeback in NFL history took place. 25 points down in the Super Bowl. Somehow, Brady has over 50 pass attempts, breaks the Super Bowl record for passing yards. First overtime Super Bowl. James White scores the first touchdown in overtime in NFL history. It was one of the greatest games, and I totally forgot. Probably the greatest drive in Super Bowl history. You think the only thing that would ever rival it is the the game-winning drive that Joe Montana pulled off against the Bengals. That's probably the only thing that would rival this drive. Totally, almost forgot to mention this. So, obviously, the first overtime in Super Bowl history, a beautiful drive by Brady. I mean, seriously, put on a crapping clinic. You knew as soon as the Patriots won the toss, even when you looked at in Slater's face when he was it looked like there's just no way that they're letting this one go. You know what I mean? It looked, you could just look at it, it's like there's no way, especially Brady. There's just no way that he's gonna let this one go, and he just drives down the field, puts on a clinic, and almost gets intercepted by Vic Beasley, who got a hand on it, man. Just a crazy Super Bowl. It really was, man. We saw great performances by both teams. Tyler Gabriel had a great game. Devontae Freeman had a great game. I mean, it was just a great Super Bowl. Hats off to the Patriots. Two best coach-player combo in NFL history. Greatest coach, greatest quarterback. It was really a beautiful game to watch, and I'm a Dolphins fan saying that. It really was. They put on an absolute. I mean, just to see I mean, as soon as he got the ball in overtime, I mean, there was no way that you're taking that away from him at that point. Like, there's just no way. You could just see it. It was crazy. It was like, I don't know. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. Like, he just took it from the Falcons. Obviously got a lot of help from Matt Ryan being stupid, but you know, it is what it is. I'm sure, dude. Talk about a devastating loss for the Falcons. Who knows if they can ever bounce back from this? They have the talent of the future. They really do. But mentally, and obviously every single year in the NFL, teams get nothing but better. They don't get worse. They just get better. Every team does. Some teams don't, but majority of the time, great teams do. Teams that make the playoffs, majority of the time do. Especially young, up-and-coming teams, they just get better. So the Falcons, man, mentally they're gonna have to recover from this. But it would obviously one of the greatest games of all time. If you're like looking at like the perfect drive, that overtime drive, there's something about it, man. It's crazy. It is insane what Tom Brady did. It really is. It's crazy. It's just insane. It's insane. 25-point comeback, man. It's crazy. It really is. So that is going to be it, guys. I am Skaggs83. Let me know what you think about the Super Bowl. I definitely want to know your thoughts on the Falcons, because I don't think you could not script a more devastating loss, especially to a young football team. So yeah, that's going to be it, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.